Hi everyone, this is Lindsay from Imaginary Rebel Art Studio. How's everybody doing today? I am currently doing my pumpkin live today. It's on a 16 by 20 canvas that I painted black, and then I drew this pumpkin on here with white carbon paper. Usually when you trace things on white, like on a white canvas, you use black carbon paper, so it looks like you traced it out, but can't do that on here, so you use white, and it kind of looks like chalk, kind of in a way. So, one second, I'm just gonna update this, and I'm gonna try to share this. Let's see, hopefully some of you saw my brush tutorial that I just did. I just like to introduce different kind of brushes that maybe you just haven't heard of or seen before, because for me, I do paint parties and I just use my regular 1-inch brush, the normal brushes that you use for these kind of paintings. But for professional paintings or personal paintings, I like to try different kind of brushes, and that's why I like to try to share them with everyone, because they're really fun. And that's why I like painting so much. It's because it's such a fun, kind of therapeutic kind of thing. And so, anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. That's why I'm doing those videos, kind of just introductions, and I'm trying to work on longer ones. But for now, it's just to say, hey, this is a brush, you should try it. But anyway, we're gonna do a pumpkin. So this pumpkin's pretty large, actually. It's a lot larger than I thought it was, so it takes up most of the canvas. It was gonna be on the other side, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit. So basically we're just gonna color the pumpkin. You can do any kind of color. I'm just gonna do the normal orange, but I was thinking on a black background, it could be neat to do like a green one or like a bright purple one. So, you could definitely try different things, but that's what we're gonna do. So because it's a little bit of a larger canvas, I'm just gonna leave this up here and hopefully you can see it. I'm trying to bring it up here, and I think I'm in the group right now. So I'm trying to bring that up right now. I don't think I'm on my page. I do a lot of different kind of videos on my page, and that's kind of where I'm trying to do some things, and that's why I share it to the group. So if you feel like you're missing anything, go to the page. But anyway, I just want to make sure that this is working and it's going. Okay, perfect. So again, sometimes, most times, pretty much all times, I have a hard time seeing comments, but I promise I will respond at the end if you do comment on the post. But anyway, let's get started. So I'm just going to use my 1-inch flat brush. I have some medium round brushes I'm going to use, and then of course you always need some kind of liner or small round brush to do kind of fine details. And then we're going to kind of dabble in different things, but the paints I'm going to use today, I don't think I'll use black too much, but essentially I'm going to do some fluorescent colors, some yellow, some dark orange, like a light brown that I might mix some black with, and then white. So we're gonna have some fun with a pumpkin. I know pumpkin is like a little early, it's August, but you know what? That kind of starts you thinking about fall and, maybe some cooler weather. I know school starts soon, and I don't know, I love the fall holidays. I love Christmas. So that's kind of the kind of paintings you're gonna see going forward. I'll do a couple random ones, but I mean, I just love pumpkins so much. I love fall so much. And so this is kind of what you're gonna see. I was thinking about maybe doing like a green background. We're gonna just play around with it, But, let me know how you're doing. And it is Sunday. Oh my God, I can't get this off. Okay. Let me know if you had any type of fun plans this weekend, or any type of events or anything like that. Let me know in the comments. I know that the Olympics are almost done. I think they're maybe done today, I'm not sure. But there were some really good teams, and let me know which sport you were rooting for that got like the gold medals or any kind of medals. You know, let me know in the comments for that one. Okay, I'm gonna sit now and stop talking. All right, so let me just see here. I'm gonna get out of this. So again, we're just gonna do, this is a 16 by 20 canvas. You can use any canvas you want. And so I just have a whole bunch of 16 by 20s from when I do paint parties, and since I'm kind of trying to find locations for that still, I'm gonna use some of my 16 by 20s. But anyway, looks like we're doing good. I just want to make sure you can see the whole painting. It looks like you can, so that's good. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna just paint the pumpkin first, and then we'll do the background at the end. I was gonna do something a little bit different, but I don't know, sometimes I just kind of go with it. If I have like an idea, I kind of change my mind with things, so we'll see how it goes. That's also another thing why I love painting so much, is you don't have to do, you know, what you see like an example and be like copy exactly. You kind of can do your own thing, put your spin on it, things like that. So anyway, I'm gonna get my brush wet a little bit, and as usual, you do need an apron because acrylic paint, which is what we're using, will not come out of your clothes, so make sure you have an apron on. I do have some paper towels with me to wipe off my brushes. I have some water, and then I have my paints and everything I need. And then if anyone ever wants like the tracer or the template of what I'm painting, or if you want the supply list or anything like that, please make a comment below, and I can send that to you, no problem. I know these videos are really just to kind of show you how I do things, but if you ever want to do it yourself, just let me know and I can do that for you, okay? So we're gonna start out with dark orange. And so I'm just gonna get some, so I kind of have a whole bunch of different kind of paints here, so I'm just gonna start out with the dark orange, which is called Canyon Sunset, I believe, from Folk Art. I kind of just use whatever colors I have on hand, so I'm not really using the colors that are on the actual painting, but I'm just gonna use kind of what I want here. So I'm first gonna put down this darker color. I'm gonna put it mostly at the end of the pumpkin and not at the top so much, but I'm just gonna kind of go around here. And go kind of leave a space in between, because that's where the little, I guess, God, what are those called? Indent? I don't know, of the pumpkin. So we're gonna paint that a different color in a second. So anyway, I'm just kind of doing the bottom, this darker orange color, which online it doesn't look like that, but this is a darker orange. It's one of my favorite oranges, actually. So again, just kind of painting the ends of the pumpkin here. But for like a paint party, I would tell people, paint whatever color pumpkin you want to paint, and that would be so much fun, I think. I definitely miss it for sure, so definitely we'll announce it when it happens for sure. And then I know that there are some people that do paint parties in this group, so I'd love to hear, like, you know, what kind of venues you guys do your paint parties. I did a bunch of restaurants and I did a hotel as well, like in their cafe. But I'm trying to, and I did a school as well. Schools are very popular, I think. So I'm gonna try to do another school event. But there's always, you know, the country clubs, golf clubs. There's some really big golf courses here where I'm at. But I mean, really, sky's the limit. You can do like a winery. Where I am here, there are kind of chain paint party, like paint night and something. So it's a little bit harder. I've had a harder time finding places to do it because they're already doing it. So that's why I'm trying to find other places than restaurants to do it. So yeah, just put it in there if you have any ideas. And then this one over here, just painting this area. So now that I kind of did that with that darker color, I'm gonna go into my fluorescent orange and kind of blend that in. And I probably should just do one at a time, probably. That is a fluorescent color. Because I want my pumpkin to be nice and bright and vibrant. But yeah, let me know if you're a team for the Olympics, if they won. It's kind of neat that that happened this year. I'm gonna go into some yellow, kind of mix it in at the top here. And for me, like where I'm sitting, I'm kind of right underneath an air conditioning like vent, and so my paint's drying a little bit quicker. So I'm just gonna probably do these one at a time, because you need to be able to blend the colors together. So I'm just trying to do like basically lighter up here and then darker down there, kind of. And we're gonna highlight it with some white, but kind of just gonna do that for right now. And then I have this even more fluorescent color up here. It's fluorescent yellow. It's kind of a mix between yellow and orange. I just love fluorescent, vibrant colors. So we have like the dark down here and then light up there. So I'm just gonna do that again with this one. Just gonna do this fluorescent orange. When we were driving around today, I saw a Spirit Halloween store. That's why I feel like doing a pumpkin right now is okay, because the Halloween stores are already out selling costumes. So I feel like I'm okay with doing pumpkins right now. I know people are still in the summer mode, and you know, it's hot here. I'm ready for fall. But yeah, I'm just going up there like that. I'm gonna get some yellow. This is like a cadmium. I can't say the words very well. Yellow. It's a darker yellow, which I like. I like the darker yellows. The brighter yellows, I just can't get into. Can't do it for some reason. I'm just, you know, I'm not a yellow person. If you've watched some of my other videos, I'm like, no yellow. But I guess because I just haven't found one that I like. So I just go with the darker ones, you know. So there's that one. That one's done. We're gonna go back to, again, the fluorescent. And again, I'm leaving a line between, so you can kind of see that where the little ridges are. up. Now I'm gonna get some yellow. And you can use a smaller brush. I'm using a 1-inch flat, but that's just mostly because it's on such a large surface. And so I'm just kind of doing it that way. And this is that very fluorescent yellow, kind of orangey color at the top. And I'm going in the same direction kind of as it's drawn. So it's, you know, curved. So that's the way I'm going. I'm not going like horizontal or anything, you know. You want to go with the flow here. So again, just gonna go like that. And you can get really creative with this kind of drawing. You could maybe do like a little, if this wasn't so large, and you did a smaller pumpkin, you could probably do like a little bird sitting on top of the, you know, top part there. I mean, there's so many different things you could do with pumpkins, and that's just why I love them so much. There's just, you know, I'm working on some fall paintings right now. And then I'm working on also trying to figure out some Halloween ones. And so again, these holidays are my favorite time of year. I love, you know, dressing up. I love, you know, passing out candy when people come to my door, which I notoriously have not been able to do the last couple of years because kids don't come to my door for some reason. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here now. And even though that darker orange is kind of dry now, it's okay. It's mostly just to have down there to make a darker kind of shade down there. With acrylic, it will dry darker. So the color that it is now will be darker. And that's kind of why I like to use the fluorescent colors, because they don't really go much darker. So that's why I like to do that. There's that one, a little bit of yellow. So my question, so make it in the comments, would be, when do you start putting fall Halloween decorations up? Is it too early right now? I mean, it is August, so I know there's some people that have it year round. I know people wait, you know, until September 1st. Let me know. Let me know when you start putting out decorations. Let's see here. Let's see if I can see some comments here. Vicky, start fall things by the end of this month, but I won't decorate Halloween. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, fall I think would be, yeah, end of this month would be a good time for sure. I don't know. I think end of September would be good, because you know, you only have, if you start doing Halloween the beginning of October, you only have 31 days to celebrate. And I don't know, for me, I need more days. I don't know. Same thing with Christmas. Who starts decorating for Christmas early? Usually I do it the day after Thanksgiving, but I don't know. Then you like only have, you know, a month to celebrate. So let me know. All right, just gonna get this on here. I need a little bit more of that orange here. So I am using a little bit thicker paint today, except for that first layer. I'm using like Liquid X fluorescent orange, and then the yellow, and then I'm using well, it's not really heavy body, I guess. The other one is called, it's by Holbein. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's really bright yellowish fluorescent color. It's just really pretty, real pretty. All right, coming over here. And you know, as I'm sure, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not using any water. I don't like to use water. Water will change, at least with craft paint, the color. And I don't want my colors to change. So I am not using water. Sometimes with the heavier paints, you need to use a little bit of water, but I mean, if you want to use a lot of water, then that's kind of when you go into like watercolor, and I don't really want that technique on this, so I don't use a lot of water. I'm thinking about doing, originally the background is supposed to say kind of black and you're supposed to kind of just do little things in the corners, but I'm thinking about maybe doing a green background. I think that would look really cool with this pumpkin. So let me know if you think green, like a light fluorescent green like I have waiting to be used. Let me know. That would be a good idea. I put a little bit too much yellow on this one, so I'm gonna go over here, put it over here. Go back to my orange a little bit here. This is where you can use your smaller brush if you want. Just gonna put some orange over here. I also have some yellow on my brush here. Just gonna go kind of under the stem here. A tiny bit of yellow. And that just lightens the top of it, kind of like lights coming down on it. Let's see. I'm trying to read comments as I can, so let me just see. What I can do here. Now, of course, it's not letting me see it. Sometimes I just hate this platform. Anyway, well, I'll try in a second. I'm gonna get the fluorescent yellow. And again, we're just kind of doing that at the tops. Okay, so there is the pumpkin, and I'm trying to see here. Let's look. Vicky, this is gonna be on replay, so as soon as I am done with this live, you'll be able to replay it and watch it from there. So that will just be forever, really. It'll be on the replay. Alrighty, so that is that. I'm thinking about, you're supposed to put some white on top, but I kind of like how it looks, so I might just leave it the way it is, because with that fluorescent yellow on top, it kind of gives that glow. So I kind of don't want to put the white, so I'm gonna wait on that. But I'm in between. There's also a choice I can make here, is I was gonna put brown in between, because I can see like my little lines that I made and I don't want to see those, so I was gonna do some brown. And typically this was going to be black, but I can't really see it because it's on the black background, so I might just do brown for this as well. But I kind of want to see what the green background would look like, so I might just do that real quick. So I'm gonna start kind of with a darker green mixed with a fluorescent green and just see what it looks like next to the orange. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curve it. I'm gonna curve it kind of around the pumpkin because the pumpkin is curved. So that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna curve it around. So kind of do like back and forth, back and forth. Let me move this a little bit. I think that's real pretty. I like the green. Really kind of brings it out. So I'm just gonna paint the background around the pumpkin. And so I'm using, again, a thicker paint. So sometimes tiny bit water, but not very much. It just helps spread it around a little bit better. So again, I'm going around the pumpkin. Two different greens. I'm using kind of a fluorescent green and then an even brighter fluorescent green to make this color. I really am trying to really dabble in fluorescence, and I like it so far because it's very vibrant, and that is what I'm looking for, is vibrancy. Especially, like I said, with acrylic, it dries dark. So like if you're thinking you want this to be this bright color and then it dries dark, you're like disappointed. So that's why you put a little fluorescent in here, and then it stays that cool color. So I'm just gonna kind of paint around the pumpkin here. And again, around, we're doing like a rounded kind of background here. And I could put a little bit of white in it. Let's see if I put like just tiny bit of white. I don't want like a lot of white. Maybe lighten it up kind of around the pumpkin. But not a lot of water though. Don't want a lot of water. This kind of gives it like a glow kind of effect. So I'm gonna turn it around so it's easier for me here. See, hopefully you guys can still see it that way. If I like put it up a little bit higher. Just gonna kind of do the sides here. Let's see if I can move it. Just because it's a larger canvas. So yeah, I'm just gonna put a little bit of that white and that green right here by there. Just kind of going around the pumpkin here. So I got a little bit of white with that green. Again, just trying to lighten it up just so it kind of will give it like a glowing effect around the pumpkin. But I'm gonna leave a tiny bit of a white line, or not white, excuse me, black line around it. I'm not gonna go all the way to the pumpkin. I'm gonna do that up here. Hopefully you can kind of see that. I don't know how far it goes. Just it's easier for me to kind of, maybe I can push it up a little bit here. Again, we're just kind of going in a rounded circle around it here. So kind of what we're doing is we're gonna do like a little lesson in positive and negative space. So what we're doing is we're trying to fill in the positive space, I believe, because this is like the negative space. So we're just kind of going around, filling that in. Sometimes leaving an area kind of wide open, which is hard for me, is better because you're leaving negative space. But I'm just gonna go like that. Again, trying to go in a rounded way here. Because it's on a black canvas, it also helps because that kind of gives it a little bit of a shadow that you don't have to make extra, I guess, on your own. Okay, you can't really see that very well, so I'm just gonna turn it back around. So, just gonna do a tiny bit of water, because again, I don't want to change the color or anything, but because I'm using a thicker paint, it just doesn't glide as well as craft paint does. So again, I'm just kind of going back and forth here. Do a little bit more white, just so we can kind of have it a little bit more glowing kind of near it. That might have been too much white. So far I'm thinking I like it. So again, I'm just gonna put this down here, put some green. I mean, just painting this right now is making me want to paint more Halloween, decorate, but I won't, I'll wait. So again, I'm just kind of doing some white around it, just so I can kind of make it pop a little bit. And then the dark green and the fluorescent will be down here. And again, kind of in a circular pattern here. It just looks better because, again, this is a rounded shape. Kind of want to go with the flow. And you can paint the sides too. I usually like to paint the sides as well, which I probably will do after because that's boring to watch someone paint the sides. I like this a lot. I'm running out of my green paint though. Gotta get some more. So again, kind of rounded right around the pumpkin. I need to get more paint. So the greens that I'm using, this came off, but is the Liquid X Light Green Permanent. It's like a more of a lighter green. And then I'm also using, this is a more pigmented, this is the bright green. It's called Luminous Green. It's by Holbein. It's a kind of a more expensive green kind of paint, but it's very pigmented, so that's what I like. I want to see lots of pigment because, you know, again, the craft paints have not very much pigment, and that's kind of on purpose because it's just a craft paint, you know, but I'm looking for bright colors. I'm looking for vibrant colors, and so those are usually the more expensive paints because they're more pigmented, more opaque, but they're worth it because it's so beautiful. Okay, so there's kind of the darker one. I'm gonna add a little bit of white to that just so I can have it glow underneath here because we're all about making things glow. And that's really how you do it. You just do a darker on the edge and then you add a tiny bit of white to those colors and it just will make it look like it's glowing in the background kind of. And if you kind of do it again in the circular motion, go with that kind of flow. That's kind of how you make that effect. I'm just gonna go kind of near here. And that's kind of too light. I'm gonna blend it in a second, but I just wanted to get kind of some over here underneath. So I'm trying to cover up my sketch that I did, or with the tracer template, whatever you want to call it. And so I can still see those lines, and I don't want to see those lines. So a little bit of white, a little bit of the green. And again, I kind of want to leave that a little bit of that black background showing underneath it because it kind of in a way helps you out. Then you don't have to do it yourself with a different color. It's just there. I really like painting on black canvases. It's a lot easier. Again, with shadows, and with this, I don't even really have to do the inside. I mean, I'll do my stem, but I don't even have to kind of do the insides. It's just kind of done for you. So again, just kind of going around. That was a little close, but yeah, just going a rounded circle kind of. And And then at the end here, I'm just gonna do this bright green, but it's just a different color than that white because it doesn't have any white in it. So, all right, I'm digging the green, digging it. So I'm gonna rinse out my brush and let's see here. I'm gonna go just kind of do the finishing touches. So I don't know if you can tell, but the paint is drying and it's getting darker. So I'm gonna do a little bit, might have to do some white to lighten it or just use some of the more fluorescent colors again. Sometimes you have to do 2 coats, you know? So let's see here. It was traced, Vicki, it was traced. I did use a pumpkin tracer, and then I traced it on here with white carbon paper, which kind of leaves it looking like you traced it in chalk. And I did it on a 16 by 20, but unfortunately it's like so big on this canvas, which is a 16 by 20, but I don't know why it was so big, but I kind of like it. Yeah, sponges would be fun too. I don't have any currently, but that would be a fun thing to do for sure. You could also, again, like I was using those mop brushes in that last video I just did, you could do that as texture. You know, I have this big chalk brush, you could do that as a texture. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. You can get paper towel from Costco and kind of blot it down, and it gives you that kind of geometric shapes and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. So really, sky's the limit on how to kind of decorate the pumpkin. But I do want to lighten it up a little bit on the top. So I'm going to get, let's see. I have like a luminous, like neon yellow. It's called lemon, I guess. So I'm not sure if I want to do that, but I'm going to put a little bit more of that yellow, luminous yellow color on here. I'm still going to use this brush. I think I might go down actually to my 3/4 flat brush, get a little bit of wet, a little water in there, and go back to this color. This is the luminous yellow, which kind of has, I think, a little orange in it. And I'm just kind of putting a second coat on here, just because I want it to be a little bit lighter right there, but I don't want it to like look too crazy here. Need to add a little bit more of the orange here. I'll add a little bit of white and we'll just see how it goes. Is it gonna like ruin it? Let's see. I mean, it makes it a little bit lighter, I guess. But it kind of like tones down the neon part, you know? So I don't know if I like that, because I'm trying to get it to be very vibrant. But if there's white on there, white kind of tones it down. And I don't know if I like that. So I think I'm just gonna use the neon colors to make it a little bit brighter. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm just kind of going back to my neon colors to see if I can, what will happen here. Because it kind of like makes it super bright, which is okay. It's just not kind of what I was going for, but if I put this bright, kind of orangish, yellowish color here, might be okay. I don't know. Just like, that's another thing about a dark canvas, black canvas. Yes, acrylics will dry a lot darker, but on a black canvas it might get even darker because it's like the shadow, which, you know, makes it really pretty actually, depending on what you're painting, if that's what you're going for. But I just want this to be nice and bright, fun. So I'm just kind of pushing it down. I'm not sure about that white. Thinking I'm just gonna paint over it a little bit more with that neon bright color. Maybe a tiny bit of white, but mostly the neon color is what I think is good. Again, I'm kind of just pulling it down here. Still leaving that black space in between because I want to see the ridges. This one's going to be a little bit more. And again, that's kind of when you add a tiny bit of water, not much at all, just a little bit, just to move it around the canvas a little bit easier. But I feel like I'm losing my orange that I like. That's why I didn't really want to do maybe some white, because I'm losing my orange. So again, kind of your preference on how you want it to look. I just want to have a little bit more orange in there. I just think that white just washes it out, and I want it to be vibrant. I want it to be nice, vibrant colors. And so that's kind of when you practice and you're like, ooh, no. And that's something I really like about acrylic, is that if you don't like it, you can wait a few minutes and it dries, and then you paint over it and no one knows. You know, that's the best part, is if you make a mistake, it's okay. It's okay. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna finish my pumpkin here with some orange and that really bright color. I don't think I'm gonna use white anymore. I don't know. Maybe a tiny bit, but again, you don't want to overdo it, because I don't want it to make it all like washed out looking. So we're just gonna go like this. But in a way, I mean, it kind of gives it a little bit more, I guess, character, right? We want to see character in our pumpkin. You can always do like a face if you wanted to, or, I mean, it's really up to you. Again, that's why I love pumpkins. There's so many different ways of doing it, so many different colors you can do. It's just like, sky's the limit. So again, I'm just kind of putting this on here. Tiny bit of white, but not really, not very much, because I don't want to, again, I like that vibrant color. I'm going and I'm just kind of brightening it up though, because as you can see, it darkened. I'm just using a tiny bit of white, but not really. I'm using that really vibrant neon color. Let me get some more orange here just to get that there. I like to see like a natural, like a blend between like dark to light. That's a really pretty like, just to see like a, not like an ombre, but like just, it's kind of a neat transition. So I'm just kind of bringing the paint down vertically instead of doing the like this. I'm doing it downward, just pulling it down. And then just a couple more left here. Just really trying to brighten up the top. And then put a little bit of that orange kind of at the bottom, just to blend it there. So you really get like good amount of lightness. I just need to lighten a little bit right here, kind of like up here, because this one didn't get too much here. Let's just, again, pulling it down, pulling it down. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna use a little bit of that brown to do the stem, or I could just leave it the way it is and kind of put some white, kind of outline it with some white. Let me look, let me see. Let's see. This will. This is a burnt sienna. This is craft paint by Deco Art. It's one of my more favorite. It's like a warm, very warm brown color. So I just wanted to see what it kind of would look like if I did it with the brown, this warm brown. And again, I'm not going all the way to the end there. I'm kind of leaving that dark space around here. And again, this is gonna dry dark too, so it's gonna look kind of light right now, but it will dry darker. You could leave this black too and just do like some outlines too. I mean, I'm gonna do some white outlines in a second. I just wanted to kind of see what this would look like if I did like a more of a brown stem. I use this color a lot when I do the Highlander cows. That's when I use my burnt sienna. I don't know, it's okay. I mean, I might just wait for it to dry. It's already drying right there to like just do, I'm gonna take some of the paint off. And so if you want to take paint off, you just dry your brush off on like a paper towel and then you just drag it over that paint, and it just takes it off. So there's not just like so much of it on there, and it makes it dry a lot quicker. So if you put like a heavy coat on something and you're like, no, just take a dry brush and just go over it, and it just takes the paint off. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of some highlights in. So I'm gonna take my small brush, and I'm gonna do a little bit of white highlights. On here. Kind of sporadic, just to kind of show the direction. You can also use like a Posca pen, but you have to make sure that your paint is completely dry, otherwise you're going to ruin your pen. And if I don't like this, I'll just paint it black and do this, you know, no biggie. And I can also add a little bit of that fluorescent color kind of too. That's in the pumpkins. Can add that too. Kind of sporadic. Again, anything you want to do really. I can do a little bit of white. I don't know. I mean, I almost don't want to, but you could put like little white, you know, highlights on the pumpkin, but I think I might not. Because again, the white kind of washes it out. So I think I might just leave it. But anyway, that is the pumpkin for this week. I know it's not exactly what the picture was like originally, but I like this a lot better. And so anyway, I hope everyone has a good day and a good weekend and a good week. And I'll see y'all next weekend, okay? Take care.